Hey everyone, it's Kara here, and I am back for day 6 of 1 month in my bullet journal. And I want to apologize first of all that this video is coming out a little bit later in the day than all the others, but it is right now 1 p.m. We just got back from DC. It's about 3 hours away from our house, so obviously we had a little drive time in there. And now that we're back, I had some lunch. And I'm so excited to get this video out for you today. So before we get started, I wanted to kind of briefly talk about the pen show and also warn you that this video is probably going to be a little bit long because I want to talk about the pen show, show you what I got, and then I also want to go through my entire weekly review process with you because today's Sunday. I'm setting up for the week ahead. So before I open up my journal, I'm going to show you what I got at the pen show. And let's see, I actually only purchased 3 things at the pen show. I got a fountain pen, I got a oblique pen holder, like a calligraphy pen, and then I got this little coloring ink testing book. These are basically just little 100 GSM paper cards. I guess you can call them cards for testing pen inks and other types of inks, I guess, as well. And this was actually designed by Anna over at the Well Appointed Desk, which is pretty cool. It's printed at Skylab Letterpress in Kansas City, Missouri. So these are super cute. I just thought it might be another fun little way to have some swabs of all the different inks that I have and be able to easily flip through them. So I picked that up. And then fountain pen wise, I actually got a new Visconti, and this is a Van Gogh. Visconti made this line of pens based on Vincent van Gogh's paintings. And I already have the Van Gogh in irises, which was actually the very first kind of nice fountain pen that I got. My husband got it for me for my birthday back in November of 2015. And that pen is kind of what sparked my love of fountain pens. I had a couple of cheaper fountain pens like Pilot Metropolitans and Lamy, like a Safari or an All-Star. But when he got me that Van Gogh, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So I decided, since we were at the show, that I would get another Van Gogh and kind of start the collection. So this is the Van Gogh that I purchased. It is obviously based on Van Gogh's self-portrait, Portrait Blue. And the pen is just stunning. And the cool thing about being able to buy this in person versus online is these pens in particular, they vary a lot in color from pen to pen. These are made from, I believe, some sort of resin, and it has a lot of different color variations in the resin itself. So each pen is completely unique. So I got to sift through a few of the Portrait Blues to decide which one I liked the best. So that was really, really cool. So I got to hand pick my pen versus whatever pen got sent in the mail. So this is a magnetic cap, which is really cool. I love it because when you're writing, if you're done, you can just slide it in and your cap's back on securely. But yeah, so I got a medium nib, which is kind of branching out. For me, I normally go with fine or extra fine nibs. So I'm excited to ink this up and give it a try. All right, so we're gonna set this back to the side here and I'll show you the other pen that I got. And this is actually a pen holder. So it's meant for calligraphy nibs. So you put your own nib inside of it. I'm just hoping I'm centered here. But this was handcrafted and it's simply stunning. Of course, the color is what drew me to it originally. But these are hand-turned, hand-painted, and then they are covered with multiple layers of thin lacquer. And I'm told that this particular pen took a couple of months to complete due to the intricacy of it. So really, really cool. Of course, it drew my eye. It has a little dragon on here on the grip section, but then you put your own nib in the tip. And this is actually an oblique holder, so when you write vertically, the nib is actually kind of facing at an angle which is why it's called an oblique. So one of these days I'll do a little tutorial on how I do that for you guys, but just wanted to show off the pen. I'm absolutely in love with it. And I really didn't get a whole lot at the show, mainly because everything we got at the show was my anniversary gift from Mark. Our anniversary is in 10 days on the 16th, and his gift to me was pulling out some cash and letting me spend it on whatever I wanted at the show, which was great. So I picked a few things that I loved versus a bunch of small, cheaper things. Okay, so that covers what I purchased, and then I also took my Monte Grappa Copper Mule with me, and I knew that Jake Weidman was going to be there at the Monte Grappa table engraving pens. I didn't think he'd be able to engrave mine because it wasn't a new purchase, but he agreed to do it anyway, which was amazing. And I actually have video footage that I will play for you showing you the process of him engraving this pen. But you can see normally this pen when it's brand new is very shiny and coppery, but I've used it for quite some time now, almost a year. So it's developed kind of a patina, and I think the engraving with the patina just looks absolutely stunning. So he engraved my name on there, Kara Benz, and it was so cool. So cool to watch him work, and I was just in awe the whole time, absolutely in awe of his work and his penmanship. And we got to hang out a little bit later last night, and it was just amazing. We had great conversations. He's a really down-to-earth guy, and it was just so cool. It was really the highlight of my trip. So this pen is definitely going to be one of my very precious memories from my trip to DC yesterday. All right, and in addition to meeting the cool people and wandering around, I did take a few pictures for you guys, so I'll try to put those up on screen here. But really, I wanted to take in the event and really enjoy it. I did go upstairs. They had a ink testing room upstairs, which was really busy at the time that I went. So I didn't get to try out as many inks as I hoped I would, but I did get to try out a few, and I did them here in my journal. Most of these were Monteverde inks, so I tried a few of those. I really loved this green. It's Aeronite, I believe is how you pronounce it. So I'm probably going to pick up a bottle of that because it is just this stunning bright green, and I love it. I did test these out using a dip pen, so it did put a lot of ink down onto the page, and I did get a little bit of bleed through, as you can see on the other side. So I'm not sure if I'm still going to use this page. On the next page, I might just move forward to the next empty spread when setting up my weekly this week. All right, so all of that being said, it is now time to do my weekly review and set up for the week ahead. So the first thing I do for my weekly review is I actually turn to Omnifocus. So I'm going to do a screen share from my laptop for a couple of minutes, just showing you kind of what I do in Omnifocus, and then we'll come back into my journal to set up for the following week. Okay, so here we are in Omnifocus. And again, when I open Omnifocus, it just goes straight to my inbox here, which I don't have any items in my inbox. But what I want to show you is my weekly review. So I'm going to go to my projects tab here on the left, and I'm going to scroll all the way down to my maintenance category. And here where it says perform weekly review. So I'm going to click there, and then I have a list of things that I want to get done during each one of my weekly reviews. So the first thing I want to do is perform a brain dump. Then I want to review my calendar for upcoming events. So just to kind of clear my mind of what's coming up in the coming week. So for that, I would hop over to my Google Calendar, which I'm not going to do for privacy reasons, but you'll see those events when I write them into my journal. Then I want to review my waiting on list, which is actually right down here. And I currently don't have any tasks that I'm waiting on responses from anyone else. So I'm not going to need to review those this week. So I'm going to go back to my projects. Okay, so I'm actually going to mark brain dump complete, since I'm going to do that in my journal here with you in a minute. Then I'm also going to mark review calendar complete, since I'm going to put those tasks into my journal, and waiting on. After that, I review my active goals, both personal and business. And again, a lot of these are private. I don't share all of my personal and business goals with everyone. So I'm just going to review those privately. And all I do is look back through some of my goal pages and kind of just read through my goals and see where I stand. I don't really take action on anything. It's just a way for me to keep my goals front and center on a regular basis. So I'm going to mark those as complete as well. And then my next thing that I do on my weekly review is process all of my inboxes. So I'll go through my bullet journal and look for any notes or anything else. Make sure that nothing has fallen through the cracks throughout the week. I will also process my email inbox, just make sure that there's nothing outstanding in there that I need to get to. My other inbox that I process is my regular physical mail. So I'll go through my physical mail, see if there's anything that needs my attention there. And then my Omnifocus inbox, which is that first screen that we were on when I first started this screen share. So I am going to mark all of these as complete as well. Again, I'm just showing you my list here. I will be doing these things on the side. And then I'll be performing a review in Omnifocus. And what I mean by that is down here at the bottom left within Omnifocus, it prompts you to review your projects. So when you have a ton of projects here in the sidebar, sometimes things can kind of get lost in the chaos. So this review process is a way for you to, again, not necessarily take action on anything, but just review everything that you have going on. So I'm going to click on review, and then you'll see my full list of projects here on the left-hand side. So I just click through them and mark it as reviewed. So these are just little things that I want to get done. I read through them, say, okay, I'm going to say I've reviewed that. And then sometimes things will pop up that kind of spark something and something that I want to start taking action on soon. So I'll just jot a little note to the side and then maybe put that into my bullet journal to make sure that things don't fall through the cracks. So I just go through here one by one and read through and make sure that there's nothing pressing that needs my attention that I have somehow missed. Okay, and I'm not going to go through every single one of them because that will probably bore you to tears. So I'm going to go back to my weekly review. I'm going to mark that as complete and then schedule a time for the next review. And I don't even know if I really need this task on here every week, but I like to have it there. And I like to schedule this into my calendar for Sunday afternoon. So every Sunday afternoon on my calendar, I have an appointment with myself to perform my weekly review. All right, and that is it. My weekly review is done in Omnifocus. Now we're going to move back to my bullet journal so that I can show you all of that in action. All right, okay, so we are back in my journal. And before I continue on with my weekly review, I do want to update my monthly spreads. Since I was gone yesterday and most of today, I didn't set up any daily pages for Saturday or Sunday this week, but I do want to make sure that I get my trackers filled out. So for gratitude, I am actually going to put, I'm going to put Brian Goulet on here. It was so fun and so cool to hang out with the Goulets at the pen show this weekend. And Brian made the introduction for me with Jake and Jake Weidman. And it was just so cool. It was honestly one of the best weekends I've had in a really, really long time. Just hanging out with, you know how it is when you get to hang out with your people, like in real life. And it's just so fun. Everything just clicks, conversations flow, everybody has a great time. That's how it was this weekend. And I'm really grateful to Brian for that and being such a gracious, not that he hosted the event, but he was very gracious in spending time with me and Mark and making some introductions. And we always just get along so well and have such a great time when we hang out together. So I'm going to put him there on my gratitude log. Okay, and then moving on to my regular tracker. Let's grab the pink. And let's see, I have my sleep information here. So I know what time I woke up. Saturday, I woke up at 6 a.m. So I'm gonna mark that off as a yes. Okay. And then Sunday, today, I woke up at 7:13, so I'm not gonna mark that off. All right, Friday, I need to go all the way back to Friday here. All right, so Friday, miracle morning. Saturday, I did not do a miracle morning. We left the house so quick. It did kind of throw me for a loop not doing my morning routine, not gonna lie. Okay, Friday definitely worked out. Saturday I did not. Goal check, I did that on Friday. Not yesterday. And then hydrate, yes, I stayed hydrated both days. No budget reviews, no blog posts, and videos I have kept up with, which is great. Instagram for sure. Me day, I'm gonna count Saturday as a me day. It was pretty great, pretty awesome. All right, and Friday night, I went to bed at 12:51. And Saturday night, I went to bed at 12:49. So I don't get to mark that on either of those days, unfortunately. And then again, today I woke up at 7:13, so I'm not gonna mark that off. So yeah, let's do a mood tracker. It's funny how travel like just totally messes with your schedule, which it totally did in this instance. All right, Friday night or Friday afternoon, I'm gonna say excited again. I was absolutely thrilled. Okay, and then Saturday morning is going to be another excited. And then for Saturday afternoon, I'm going to put grateful. Again, I just had such an amazing time, and it felt so amazing to be able to share that with my husband. And honestly, I mean, today's Sunday. Let's go ahead and do Sunday morning. I'm going to put grateful again because I was feeling the same exact way when I woke up this morning, just completely grateful, overwhelmed, in a very, very good way. So I like having that there on my tracker. All right, and sleep log is next. So I have that information here with me. Really bad sleep on Friday night, which I owe to just being super excited. I never sleep well when I'm excited. So let's see, I went to bed at 12:51. So it's basically 1 o'clock in the morning. And I woke up at 6 a.m. Not much sleep Friday night. All right. And then Saturday night was 12:49. So again, I'm going to put that right there at the 1. It's close enough to 7:13. Right here. All right. Cool. And then on the right here, I'll do my notes. So I had, again, my heart rate was super elevated Friday night. So I had a low of 80, a high of 158. That's crazy. And an average of 89. And my sleep quality was 55%. Ouch. But last night, apparently I did much better. My low was 78. My high was 96. And my average, 87. With overall quality at 80. So I felt a lot better about that. I am going to put a note here for Friday night. I'm going to say night before trip or night before travel or trip, because I think that's all that's going to fit there. All right, so that's just a little note to myself, and I know this about myself, that sometimes I don't sleep as well before I travel or before something exciting is happening. So I'm totally fine with that. All right, weekly spread. I'm gonna wait here. We're gonna set up a new weekly spread here in a minute, but I actually wanna do a mini brain dump. And normally my weekly brain dumps aren't super long, and sometimes I don't do them at all if, you know, there's just nothing that's really racking my brain. And in this case, I actually don't have anything that's really, the whole point of a brain dump to me is getting all those things that are swimming around in your head out onto paper so that they're not clogging up your thoughts unnecessarily. And as far as everything's concerned with my planning and things that need to get done, I feel like pretty much everything is down on paper and planned out. It's just a matter of me executing it this week. So I am going to go through and just double check through my week and make sure that there's nothing that I missed. So today I'm actually going to do some deep cleaning, so I'm going to be able to mark those off. I do need to do some inventory for my Etsy shop and finalize those TN inserts in this upcoming week. And then I'll also be announcing the relaunch of my handwriting course. Besides that, everything got complete. Flipping through, I just like to read through and make sure that there's nothing, like any notes. Is there anything I need to take action on? So here I know that that was pushed aside or crossed out for now. And let's see, Micah needs a bath. We took care of that. There's a couple other notes. Show me your florals. I don't need to take action on that. And then ordered Mark's anniversary gift. So I know that's on the way. Don't need to take action there. Everything else is crossed off or migrated forward. And then on this page, I do still have a couple of open tasks. Oh, no, I don't. I actually did add these new mandalas to the resource library yesterday, so that's great. Okay, or on Friday, let me say it that way. I do have the Tombow takeover content that I need to finalize, and finalizing Traveler's Notebook inserts, and working on Positive Scribes, which is my handwriting course. So those are all things that I'm going to move forward to next week. And besides that, we're just going to turn the page and set up our new weekly spread. Since I used those fountain pens here, and they did bleed through the page a little bit, not really enough. I think once I write on the other side, it's not going to be too bad. So I'm just going to go for it and set up my weekly spread. And I think that this week, let's see, I did pink and green last week. I think I'm going to go with teal. Okay, so I have my general layout here. This is how I've been doing my weekly spreads for quite some time now. Now I'm just going to jot in my appointments and anything that I have on the schedule for the upcoming week based on my weekly review. So I'm pulling events from my calendar and from upcoming things that I know need to happen. Okay, so events-wise, I know that I have a kickoff call for a course that I'm participating in. 6 p.m. Okay, and then on Tuesday is bullet journal day, y'all. I'm not going to put that on appointments since it's really like an all-day thing, so I'm actually just going to put it over here. All right, bullet journal day on the 8th, and then on Friday the 11th, I'm actually leaving with my sister. We're going to Omaha, Nebraska for a long weekend. She's going to be running in a triathlon, so I'm going to be going with her to kind of lend my support. So I'm just going to write Omaha and draw a line straight through the weekend. I'll be coming back on Monday. And also from Omnifocus, I know that the 9th is my deadline to submit my Tombow takeover stuff. So I'm going to write that here as Tombow deadline. I also have a deadline on the 10th for the PlannerCon DC party where I'm going to be hosting a workshop. I need to get some information to them, like a headshot and like my social media links and things like that. So I'm going to put that here on the 10th. DC party deadline is what I'm going to call that one. Okay, and then on Friday morning, our TN inserts are going in the shop. So I'm going to put that, I'm not sure a time yet, but I know it's going to be morning. Okay, so that is my full week setup. And then on the right-hand side, I like to list out my current projects that need my attention this week. And a lot of times these correspond with my schedule or deadlines that I have coming up, and it can seem a bit repetitive, but I like to be able to see everything kind of in a calendar format so I know what needs to get done on which days, and then also see it in a list format each week. So I'm going to flip back to my last weekly spread, and I'm going to set this up pretty much the same way. So I'm going to do July 7th through 13th. All right, so we're going to have, and this week I'm going to eliminate the home category. I'm going to get my cleaning done today, and I'm actually just going to focus hard on my deadlines that are coming up. So I'm actually just going to list out current projects. I don't think I'm even going to separate them this week. And this is where the beauty of the bullet journal comes in, y'all, is that you can really adjust it each and every week, each and every day. You don't have to stick to the same format over and over again. You can tweak it each week based on your needs. And this week, it's going to be fast and furious because I really only have 4 days of work before I'm going to be out and about with my sister. And I'll still get some work done from the hotel and everything where we're at. But for the most part, I want to make sure that everything's finished in this first 4 days of this week. So from my last weekly spread, I am going to make sure that I migrate over. Even though I marked shop photography as complete on here, I still need to get those pictures up in my shop. So I'm going to say new pics in shop. I'm also going to migrate over shop inventory, which is something that I can delegate, which is awesome. But this way it's on my radar. I'm going to finish those TN inserts. Positive Scribes announcement. Apparently I can't write today. Positive. That works. And 1 month in my bullet journal, obviously I'm working on that. And now I want to make sure that I don't miss any open tasks from the week. So we already reviewed through all of this, and I know that TN inserts was left here. So I'm actually going to put arrows through all the rest of these since they are moving forward to next week. All right. And then from my deadlines, I know also my Tombow content and DC PlannerCon info. Okay, so those are my current projects for this week. And you know what? I'm gonna correction tape over this because I don't like how it looks. Okay. Positive. Spell it correctly, Kara. Okay. Okay, better. Okay, so this is literally my weekly spread this week. I'm not going to do anything else to it. If I have time later, I might come in and do some sort of quote or doodle here just to fill in some space. But on the very next page is where I'm going to start Monday, and I'll film that and post it tomorrow morning for you guys. So thanks for bearing with me through this super, super long video this week. I have a feeling that every Sunday video is going to be quite a bit longer throughout this series, just because I want to show you step by step the process that I go through to make sure that I'm not forgetting about anything important and that things aren't, like I said, falling through the cracks. So I hope you enjoyed kind of getting that deeper perspective into how I plan. If you have any questions, as always, drop those below. If there was anything that wasn't clear about my weekly review, let me know for sure, and I'll try to make sure that I clarify those for you on next week's weekly review. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you get on with the rest of your Sunday, and I will see you all tomorrow morning. Bye.